In every manufacturing plant, there are hundreds of problems waiting to be solved. Welding defects, paint scratches, assembly errors, lot more. But here's the real question. Which ones actually matter the most? That's where the Pareto chart becomes important. It is based on a simple and powerful principle, the 80-20 rule, which says that 80% of your problems often come from just 20% of causes. In this lesson, you'll learn how to use Pareto charts to find out those vital few issues that truly impact quality, so you can stop frustration and start solving what actually matters. So, what exactly is a Pareto chart? Think of it as a combination of a bar chart and a line graph. The bars represent the frequency or impact, for example, number of defects. The line shows the cumulative percentage, helping you see how each factor contribute to the total problem. By arranging defects from the most frequent to the least frequent, the Pareto chart instantly tells you where to focus first. In short, it's not about fixing everything. It's about fixing what matters most. Let's look at a real-world automotive example. Imagine you're a supplier producing motor assemblies for an OEM. You notice a high rejection rate and decide to analyze defects for the month. Here's what you find. 45 defects from shaft misalignment, 25 from bearing noise, 15 from loose connectors, 10 from paint scratches, and 5 from missing labels. That's a total of 100 defects. When you plot this data on a Pareto chart, something interesting happens. You see that shaft misalignment and bearing noise, 2 out of 5 defect types, make around 70% of all defects. That's your 80-20 rule in action, the vital few versus the trivial many. Now let's go step by step. We have 7 steps of how to create your own Pareto chart. Step 1. Define the problem. Start with a clear focus, for example, customer rejections by defect type. Step 2. Collect the data. Use inspection reports, process logs, or customer complaints, but make sure the data is accurate and covers a defined time period. Step 3. Categorize the defects. List each type of defect, label missing, shaft misalignment, loose connector, bearing noise, paint scratch, and so on. You have all values defect-wise. Step 4. Count and sort. Count how many times each defect appears and arrange them in descending order, most frequent first. Step 5. Calculate the cumulative percentage. For each defect, add up the counts and convert them into percentages of the total. Step 6. Draw the chart. Plot the bars for each cause on the x-axis, frequency on the y-axis, and add a line for cumulative percentage. Highlight where the cumulative line crosses 80%. This is your vital few zone.
I've made a separate video that shows exactly how to create a Pareto chart in Excel. Don't forget to check it out. The link is in the description.
Step 7. Interpret and act. Identify the top defects and analyze them in more detail. Implement corrective action on them. You can easily create this using Excel or download my ready-to-use file from description below. Now, what does this chart actually tell you? In our motor assembly example, the first 2 defects, shaft misalignment and bearing noise, contribute to about 70% of total defects. So as a quality engineer, you should first check verify jig alignment, motor mount tolerances, or shaft concentricity. For bearing noise, check lubrication, preload, and assembly torque. Once these high-impact issues are solved, your overall rejection rate will drop by 70 to 80%, and without even touching the other small defects. That's the real power of the Pareto chart, focusing on what gives the biggest impact. Now let's talk about a few common mistakes engineers do, and some expert tips. One mistake is using too little data, or data that's not representative. Another is combining unrelated categories like mechanical and electrical issues together. And some engineers forget to consider the cumulative percentage line, which defeats the purpose of the Pareto chart. Let's recap the summary. You've just learned how to use the Pareto Chart, one of the most powerful tools in the 7QC tools. It helps you find the vital few causes that create most of your problems, so you can prioritize your efforts and get faster results. Remember, 80% of your rejection come from 20% of defects. Focus on those, take action, and watch your defect rates drop. Now that you've learned how to use the Pareto chart, the next step is to find out why those issues are happening. That's where our next tool, the cause and effect diagram, also called the Fishbone diagram, comes in. It helps you to find out the root causes for top defects from Pareto chart.